You're listening to the We Are Libertarians Podcast Network. Find all of our shows at wearelibertarians.com. You're listening to the We Are Libertarians Network. Learn more at wearelibertarians.com.
Welcome to the Ball Soccer Liberty Podcast. This is episode number 373 of the Centrist Fair Podcast. Jeremiah Morrell, joined by executive video producer, audio engineer, Zach Burcham. Co-host number 1 today, Mr. Forrest Plank. Co-host number 2, Mr. Chase Peyton. Chase, you still have the responsibilities as the senior co-host here today. What the hell do we have planned?
Well, Jer, we'll be discussing the NCAA college football bowl games, the playoff bracket, the tickets. Did you get us some?
Somebody in here has tickets to a college football game coming up very soon.
I thought that was part of the deal tonight. Like, that's how you enticed me to come do this.
Yes, we are covering your Ball State bowl game.
It's a punch bowl, right?
Sure. Netflix NFL Christmas. Who's the announcer, Chair?
The Eagles.
The Eagles?
Yes, right out of retirement, the Eagles.
Some guy got murdered. And the Adventures of Cord Cutting.
That's it. You are so good at this job, Chase.
I know.
Very proud of you. I'm so glad I took you out on Saturday night, got you liquored up so I could get you to agree to come back. The amount of effort that I put into this show is unbelievable.
Wait, you got liquor for this?
Oh, yeah.
What are you drinking? This show is about our lives in rural Indiana.
Ginger ale.
Push your boundaries. Sure. We're here to push your boundaries and make you think as individuals. Sometimes we'll provoke you. Other times we'll make you laugh, but hopefully you'll always learn something new. These guys are all jacked up on Bohemian garlic Buc-ee's beef jerky. Some of them refused the peanut brittle that was offered to them, but it was offered.
Not some, one.
One mystery guest that refuses to drink the bourbon also refuses to have the peanut brittle. Apparently, he's a teetotaler in more ways than one. If you are a patron, you got to hear about my traumatic event in line where I thought I was poor for a moment. If you want to hear about that, join patreon.com/BallSoccerLiberty at any level. But if you're at $50 or more a month, you get to get a shout out at the top of each and every episode. That list has grown this month. Jonathan Phillips, Andy Moore, Buick GMC in Fishers, Indiana, sells me all my GMC vehicles. Blake Reese over at Varsity Outfitters here in Newcastle. Regular store hours down there, Zachary.
Oh man, I have to look at that.
I'm just saying it's a walk-in store now.
Yeah, but it's like
they're
Wednesdays and Thursdays,
hours.
and then Saturdays, I think.
I just got myself some new vests in that I'm going to have to bring down to Blake and get the company logo dropped onto for me to look like I'm a NASCAR car owner with my vest and my white button-down shirt.
Going for the Chip Ganassi.
Yeah, going for the Roger Penske, Rick Hendrick. I didn't go black though. I think I went green, and I don't know what the other color is.
Missing out.
I'm not that formal.
That crisp white shirt and the black vest.
Might have to order a third one just to do it. But Blake does all our embroidery. Pop's Recycle Shop down in Rushville.
If you're looking for a Schwinn for Christmas.
Get your Christmas Schwinn. There's a few more left. And the newest $50 a month sponsor for the show is Thomas Oakes over at Walnut Ridge RV. He's been a patron for a long time, but stepped it up. So, Forrest, when you decide you're going to start doing the camping thing with us, coming to the Indy 500 and waking up at the racetrack, Thomas can set you up.
Look at that line of sponsors. You can get a truck to pull an RV.
That's right. You can get all your custom gear.
Get all your custom gear to take with you and the bicycle.
And bring your bike to get around.
How about that?
Not too bad. Not too bad at all. It goes for you too, Chase. When you decide you're going to spend more than 4 nights a year with me and spend 50 like Zach does, you can get your camper. Zach has buyer's remorse.
What? I didn't pay attention to that.
He's just in his own world over there. He's still trying to look up the hours.
Yeah.
Once again, if you go back to Patreon, some of us are on medication.
Oh, if I took medication before I came on the show, it'd be a good time. I am.
Do it.
I'm a lightweight. Cold medication.
Do it.
Cold medication messes me up.
I'm going to go digging around my bag and see what I got.
I'll go bring you some Mucinex and NyQuil.
I'll tell you, I took Mucinex one time and has had to spend the entire rest of the night with my head under a blanket because it knocked my vestibular system out of whack, and the room was spinning as fast as a ceiling fan the whole night.
Funny, bourbon does that to me.
Oh, I was like, everything's spinning. So, yeah, I'm a lightweight.
There's no fixing it for the man. All right. So NCAA, the bowl games are set. We have the listing here of all of the bowl games. The names of these always, Chase, are just spectacular. The Cricket Celebration Bowl, the IS 45. If you read this wrong, it's the ISIS Salute to Veterans Bowl.
It does look like ISIS Salute.
What is IS4S?
I don't know. IS4S Salute to Veterans Bowl will be played in Montgomery, Alabama, between South Alabama and Western Michigan. How the hell does Western Michigan have to go to Alabama to play an Alabama team?
Is that in the county of Greenbow?
Ran right that one, Forrest. Scooters here in Newcastle, Scooters Coffee. The Scooters Coffee Frisco Bowl will be played Memphis and West Virginia. Let's see, some other big ones. The Art of Sport LA Bowl hosted by Gronk. Rob Gronkowski is hosting one. That's Cal versus UNLV. What else looks fun in here? We got all the big time games. The Myrtle Beach Bowl, sure.
The Potato Bowl.
The Idaho Potato Bowl. It will be played in Boise on the blue field.
What kind of gifts do you think to get for that one?
Just a box of instant suds.
Some potato
That's right.
soup.
These guys
do you get a
like
10-pound sack, or do you get like the dehydrated instant mashed potatoes?
I would hope if you're flying back home, you got to have the instant stuff.
They're flying on a chartered flight. It doesn't matter.
You think Fresno State is going on a charter?
Fresno State probably is more
Boise.
likely than Northern Illinois. I don't know. Northern Illinois is still collecting their paycheck from Notre Dame.
Northern Illinois is taking Amtrak and just remembering they're living their greatest version of the 1970s, beating Notre Dame. The Hawaii
how about
Bowl.
South Florida going to the Hawaii Bowl?
Yeah, that they need more sunshine in their life. San Jose State and South Florida playing in the Hawaii Bowl on Christmas Eve.
That has to be the longest travel for a bowl game.
Yeah, they couldn't. Apparently, Maine wasn't available.
Or Georgia Tech's going to Birmingham, Alabama. They're like going to grandma's house. Like, what's this?
That's a
Here,
really.
let's hop in the car and go.
So Georgia Tech is a really good. That's like one of the top tier bowl games in my opinion, though, of like the ones that are scheduled.
Just the Birmingham Bowl.
Who are they playing?
Vanderbilt.
Yeah, so that's actually two.
That'll actually be a good game.
Yeah, that was like on my list.
That's Upset Central versus Upset Central.
Yeah. Let's see. The Game Above Bowl is in Detroit on Christmas Day. Toledo versus Pittsburgh. You know, when Toledo and Pittsburgh get together, you have to stop everything you're doing. The NFL
that should be the Rust Bowl game.
The NFL games on there are gonna have to worry.
I found one that you guys were talking about. The Snoop Dogg Arizona Bowl presented by Gin and Juice by
and Dr. Dre.
And Snoop. Dre and Snoop, yeah.
Played in Tucson. You're live in Tucson. The Go Bowling Military Bowl will be NC State and East Carolina on December 28th.
Wait, so what's the bowl game that Navy's playing in? It was
Armed Forces Bowl.
So Navy gets the Armed Forces Bowl, and then the Military Bowl.
Chase, do you ever have any interest in going into these bowl games?
No.
Like, are any of them fun? Like if your team made the Trans Perfect Music City Bowl in Nashville, Iowa versus Missouri, are you going? You're like,
is that always an SEC school and a Big Ten school?
I think generally, yeah. A lot of these are the tie-in is generally for that to happen. Because we've seen a lot of Purdue games at the Music City Bowl. Let's see. Anything else here that's fun? The Duke versus Ole Miss is the Tax Slayer Gator Bowl. That's a big one.
The Duke's Mayo Bowl.
The classic Duke's Mayo Bowl in North Kakalaki. Virginia Tech and Minnesota are going to play each other.
When did the Bahamas get a bowl game?
I don't know, but I would go to that
cool.
game. That's a great
It'll be
one.
warm.
The Introverts at Liberty versus Buffalo. The Capital One Bowl is this college football playoff. That's the Orange Bowl. So those are all.
There's
really
some of these
good
they
ones.
haven't even announced the teams for yet.
Well, they haven't announced because it's the playoffs.
Yeah, so teams are playing into them.
So if you go to your show notes, if you're a patron, you get the show notes dropped into the chat. We're on Milford. It is snowing here. It is like
It's
20
a balmy
degrees.
18 degrees.
We're in the middle of an Alberta clipper, and its conditions are deteriorating. Think we have enough bourbon to get through the night.
It's that rush hour clipper for the second day in a row.
I don't know if I'll make it home.
I don't know if Zach will survive on the supplies we have, but the rest of us are going to be just fine.
I can run home.
Weirdo.
It's a little slick outside. We got like a light dusting and stuff. It's pretty slick.
I'm clicking on the link here in the chat, in the show notes, and it's like, do you want to download Adobe? God dang it, I didn't use this computer to put this together. All right, so here's your the top 12. We got a playoff this year. It's the smallest bracket. We're used to NCAA brackets, Chase.
I know.
So it's only 12 teams. Do you have any excitement for this compared to the way you do for college basketball?
No. I lost my excitement for college football like 10 years ago.
Even with Notre Dame?
Yeah, I've watched like one Notre Dame game this year, and
Please tell me it was Northern Illinois.
no, I honestly don't remember. I don't remember which game it was. It wasn't that one. It was the one before that one.
So their opener then.
Yeah, it was their opener. That was
game of the year.
The first game of the year.
So this was it's the first year we've had a playoff, or there's been a playoff.
For 12 teams.
Yes. There's 12
4
teams. 5 different teams got automatic ins to the thing.
Yeah.
The top 4 of those, this is so convoluted. The top 4 got to host a home game, and we had talked about that on the show about who would end up being the 4 that hosted. So you wanted to end up in position 5 through 8 to get to host a game. If you're positioned 1 through 4, you have a bye week, and you get to go automatically into one of the named bowl games. It's on a neutral
site game.
So the home games, and Zach, we had talked about this. We were hoping for the freezing cold stadiums.
Yeah.
Now these games are going to be played like December 21st, December 20th, that range. So we got, I don't know, about a week and a half, 8 days until these games start happening. It'll be a week from now. Notre Dame's hosting Indiana. So we're the only state to send 2 teams. And of course they have to freaking play each other.
That is a terrible alignment.
Immediately they have to play each other. It is the murderer's row side of the schedule, because the winner then has to go to the Sugar Bowl to play Georgia.
Yeah.
Who's the number 2 team in the country.
That's why I'm not excited.
So that part is like, God dang, you got the short end of the stick. Whereas Penn State, which had a very similar season to IU, they are hosting SMU. SMU, it was expected to get to host one of these games. They lost to Clemson, which was a bad loss for them. Clemson got in, and they were the worst of the worst. So they're the 12 seed, even though they won and got an automatic in. They were being treated like they are Wichita State, like they are, they're being treated like absolute low level whatever.
At the Heisman hopeful.
Yes. So Penn State is going to host SMU. And then Boise State is waiting for them, which is another one of those that was like,
how in the hell did
15.
they get a 3 seed?
Because they won the home deal, so they were better than Clemson. So then they got to be one of the home teams
because they hang out in the Mountain West.
Right? They barely play anybody. So that's, once again,
75% of that conference has a losing record.
Penn State got like the absolute easiest walk-in possible. They lost the Big Ten championship game in Indianapolis last weekend. And now they're going to theoretically have the easiest matchup they could have with SMU. And then they would go to the Fiesta Bowl on New Year's Eve.
Are you not a fan of the blue field?
I hate the blue
It's
field.
hard to watch.
I love it.
I hate it.
So
when I play college football online, I always go Boise State.
New Year's Eve, you're probably going to get to watch Boise State and Penn State play. The next part of the bracket, you got Ohio State versus Tennessee in Columbus.
Yeah,
that should be a really good game.
That's a great matchup. Once again, Zach, we got another cold stadium. I'm all for it.
Like super diehard fan bases, and it's kind of like, yeah.
Tennessee's been down for a while, but they're loyal. They're royalty in the SEC.
SEC versus Big Ten,
and then the winner will get to go to the Rose Bowl to play Oregon and get boat raced.
I think Ohio State wants another shot at Oregon.
They did write the script really nicely, so that
I really hope Tennessee wins that game.
And then
I usually pull for the Big Ten, but I hate Ryan Day. I hate his face.
Yeah, that man is. There's a lot of memes going around that man basically has to win the national championship in order to save his job.
Oh, their AD came out today and said absolutely he's keeping his job.
So yeah, he's going to have to beat Tennessee, Oregon, and then probably Texas, and then maybe Georgia. If he does all of those things, he'll be the national champion.
If Tennessee wins, do they plant the flag in the middle of the field?
I hope so.
I think
that may be a felony by then.
I think the Ohio State troopers might shoot them on the spot. And
with
then
more pepper spray.
Yeah, you have to escalate. You have to match up and escalate, Forrest. So the last one is like the least interesting, other than the fact that you've got a Manning involved. Arch Manning's Texas Longhorns are hosting Clemson, who's kind of the joke of the deal. Playing on the 21st. The winner will then get to go to the Peach Bowl, the Chick-fil-A Peach Bowl down in Georgia, and they'll play Arizona State.
That's such a sleeper leg there.
Yeah, that whole side is like nobody's paying a damn bit of attention. But theoretically, you could end up with Texas going all the way to it would be the Cotton Bowl in the semifinal.
With Texas and Oregon.
Yeah.
Most likely.
That would be my guess. Who knows?
I like Texas.
Hook 'em.
Yeah. You get some Matthew McConaughey. I mean, the biggest game on that entire deal for those that are in this room is going to be IU versus Notre Dame. Forrest, you did some research for us.
I did.
On what it costs to attend some of these games.
I did.
In case Chase wants to spend some of his newfound wealth.
I mean, I could take my fee that I'm receiving for tonight and
parlay
it and maybe have enough to buy my foot to get in the door.
To buy a Greyhound ticket to get to the stadium.
Maybe.
So, and by the way, I've already overshot. There are still more college football games to be played, at least one, before we get into
one really big one.
Games. Tell me what we have to know.
It's America's game, Saturday afternoon, 3:00, Army Navy.
You sound like a statist, sir.
It's
America's game.
It is America's game. The 125th matchup
of Army versus
Navy. Yep.
And we're choosing which side of the military are we choosing to support?
Beat Navy.
I mean, the Army's got to be able to get there somehow. You know what I'm saying?
All right. So where's Navy based?
In
Maryland,
Annapolis.
And you guys, Army's based in New York. So this is essentially a road game.
Yep.
Having to play in Landover, Maryland.
In Landover.
It's not FedEx Field anymore, though.
No, it is Northwest Stadium.
They didn't rename it RFK just because.
No.
feel like that family's picked up some momentum lately.
Yeah.
RFK Junior Stadium.
Hey, maybe they'll put some more seats in it if they do that.
Zach enjoyed that joke. He lost his voice, but I saw pure delight in his face.
I just picture him like driving a car into the end of the field, like at the beginning of the game, with like a whale's head strapped to it.
If it became RFK Junior Stadium, they would take the fluoride out of the water immediately. Treat your teeth before you get there. All right. So if I want to go see Notre Dame, the secondary market, the best seats in the house were going for about $4,000.
Yep.
They never got out. They never said, "Hey, Chase, do you want to buy a ticket?" As a longtime Notre Dame fan, they immediately gave all the tickets to the folks that give big money to Notre Dame, all their lawyers and top tier Catholics, the folks that
like
keep
Super
the Catholic
Bowl.
Church in good place. Yeah,
Super Bowl ticket money.
so that was to sit essentially behind the IU bench.
You sit behind the Notre Dame bench for the same money.
Same money. All right. So because IU's got big money boosters like in New York City.
Yeah.
Like this is like the
I mean, you got Mark Cuban.
thirsty. Yeah, this is thirsty big
It's
dollar.
weird. It's weird for a lot of
donors.
people here because I know, like me, I was raised you root for IU basketball, Notre Dame football.
That's because IU's football sucked then.
yes, for all my life.
I heard radio show and they were talking about that guy was very. He's like, because it was never a problem.
Yeah.
Because they never crossed. Like there's never a conflict, and suddenly now there's a conflict.
So now you have this. Okay, Notre Dame makes the playoff every couple of years, gets blown out, and then you have this 1 year wonder with IU.
They immediately.
I don't care who wins this game, to be honest.
You just have both teams have fun.
I hope both teams have fun. I'm rooting. I guess I'm rooting for Notre Dame. Like I gotta stick with Notre Dame.
The wing of the family that I married into is Category 5 Hurricane Georgia Bulldog fans.
Yeah.
So no matter what happens here, those people are going to. I know the Georgia
Either
fan
way,
base, and they are going to tear apart either one.
whoever wins, is going to get blown out the next game. If you pay
I don't know.
$4,000,
I think Notre Dame can give Georgia a run
I've
for their
never
money.
seen Notre Dame win a big game in my life. My entire life. Every big game they've played in has been a big loss.
Yeah, I wanted to say
All the way back to the tush push.
the Bush push game.
That was
a loss.
my very first memory of watching a big game Notre Dame football.
That was in Los
Jeff
Angeles.
Samardzija.
Yeah, they grew out
Brady
the grass.
Quinn.
They grew out the grass.
I was crying at the end of that game. Life didn't make sense to me. And then, I was like, eventually, we'll win one. Has never happened.
1988. They've won one in my lifetime. They're much like IU. Notre Dame football and IU basketball are so similar in the timelines of when they last were truly successful.
Legacy programs.
I think Indiana's going to win. I'm calling it
Really?
upset.
Wow.
And Notre Dame never wins a big game. You're going to pay $4,000 to go see Notre Dame lose in the playoffs again.
But you don't have to pay
At
$4,000. You can pay $800 and set in the upper level corner of the end zone if you would like.
Well, if you're smart, that's what you would do. I pay big money to go watch football, not $4,000. More than I'm proud of to watch my team lose. But I don't know, man.
So you could buy a ticket today to go to the Rose Bowl in Pasadena for $350.
Yep. Or you could go watch the Tennessee Ohio State game for the same money.
For $350. I guess the question is how much would it cost to buy a ticket to the Sugar Bowl today? Let's see. Say you're a fan and you're going to be like Eric Holcomb and you're an Indiana person and you just know you want to be there for the next one. And you say, hell with it. One of our teams is going to make it before the tickets are insanely expensive. What's it going to cost me to get into the Sugar Bowl, which is Texas? I think that's played. That's the Cotton Bowl. Sugar Bowl will be played where? Where the hell do they play Sugar Bowl?
I'm not sure.
Sugar Bowl in New Orleans?
Yes, it is. It is the Mercedes-Benz Superdome.
You can get into the Superdome.
It's the Caesars Superdome now.
Whatever the hell the name of it is.
They moved, yeah.
For $220 if you'd like.
That's a deal. Chase, we should go.
If you want to set lower bowl, you're looking
we're gonna
$500 minimum.
Because we're doing New Year's Eve at the Elks, and then we could get on a plane in the morning and get down to New Orleans, be down there by 8:45, watch the game, stay out all night on Bourbon Street, come home on the 2nd.
$450 you can set in the end zone, lower level.
Chump change.
Yeah.
So, Forrest, you think Boise State sucks?
Overrated.
And I said that Oregon, Georgia, and Penn State are the ones that have like the inside line to success here.
Nobody's been able to touch Oregon, so
I think Oregon's going to be in the national championship game. It's just a matter of who they play. I could be completely wrong.
I don't know. Here,
hold
on. Let me look at the bracket.
Since they brought the Big Duck to the White River, or to it was like that was it. They were
the massive inflatable duck.
They brought it to Indianapolis.
So here's how it's going to play out.
All right, write this down.
Okay.
Bet Chase's lines here.
Texas is going to beat Clemson.
Yes.
Yep. In their sleep.
Ohio State's going to beat Tennessee, even though I don't want to see it.
Yep. Okay.
Penn State's going to beat SMU.
Okay. So you're just chalky here. Okay.
Indiana's going to beat Notre Dame.
That's your one upset.
Yeah.
Indiana versus Georgia.
Georgia's moving on.
Penn State versus Boise State. I think Penn State.
I think Penn State's going to win.
Ohio State versus Oregon.
I think Ohio State.
That was such a game.
I think it's going to be Ohio State
in the Rose Bowl. I think Oregon win that. That's the best. That is the filet mignon of the quarterfinal.
I'll take Ohio State, and then you got Texas.
I think of the whole
Arizona
bracket.
State.
Like you take the whole playoff bracket. That is the game right
So then you have Texas versus Ohio State, and you have Georgia versus Penn State.
But Georgia's going to beat the shit out of.
We're going to have a Georgia-Texas.
That's where you're going.
You're going for a rematch.
Yeah, we're going to have a Georgia-Texas championship. Everyone's going to be like, "Oh, Texas is back," and then Georgia's going to win again.
That was an overtime game in the SEC championship game. I don't know. I'm unconvinced, but yeah, Texas, Tennessee, Ohio State, Oregon. That side's pretty stacked. I still think Penn State won the lottery as far as
I'm rooting for the Indiana teams and Boise State. All three of those teams are going to lose.
I have no emotional attachment to Boise State whatsoever.
I love them. I can remember being young when they went undefeated. I don't know, like for that year or two.
Yeah.
Seeing that guy like propose to the cheerleader on the field after winning their last game. I thought that was so cool. I was like a 16-year-old, 15-year-old. I was like, this is cool.
Zach can check this, but I'm like 80% sure that cheerleader's name was Chrissy Papadix.
Really?
I think I could be wrong, but I want to say
Dix plural?
Dix. I think Chrissy or Christy Papadix.
Why do you know that?
I don't remember why I know this, Forrest, but I'm telling you that was a thing. Whether it was her or another proposal.
I'm afraid to even Google
Ian
that name.
Johnson proposed to Chrissy Papadix during the postgame
That
interview
is
after
crazy.
the 2007 Fiesta Bowl. I imagine she's very popular with the last name Papadix.
That's why she was so quick to say yes. Was that game?
It says after the 2007 Fiesta Bowl.
So which teams? Because it was either like an Alabama-Auburn kind of deal or it was Boise State.
It was Boise State.
God,
Yeah,
damn,
it
I'm
was,
good at this.
it was Boise State.
So who do they play?
Sorry, folks. Show's over. That's the best I could possibly do.
I have to look.
It's the same
they're
way
still-
I know who won the 1959 Indy
They're still
500.
looks
it's the
like
same
they
shit.
was OU. So Sooners.
Oklahoma.
They're playing the Sooners. Yeah, they're still together. And
What if she would have married the old cornerback, Clinton Dix?
That would
have been funny.
Clinton Dix, Papa Dix.
Papa Dick
Or-
Sticks?
I'm sure what happened, Chase, is that I had a very long commute,
Dick squared.
and they registered at Dick's Sporting Goods.
Her last name just went from Papa Dix to Johnson. We are
this is
children.
This is why I remember this, because I'm sure I had an hour-long commute to work, and it was me listening to the Magic Sirius XM radio on Sports Talk, and I'm like, this is gold. Absolute gold. And then it was
Forever implanted in my brain.
2007, it was seared in there forever. I won't remember my children's birthdays, but I will know that Chrissy Papadix got engaged after the Fiesta Bowls. All right, so that's all the college football talk. The NFL has the stones to schedule two, not one, but two games on Christmas Day. And they have it's going to be on Netflix.
What's the NBA think? about
How
that?
much
I wonder.
money is Chase going to lose betting on the NFL on Christmas
You're
Day?
going to ruin Christmas, Chase. So it is also filet mignon games. I believe you have Texans and Ravens, and you have Chiefs and Steelers. So the AFC is just wheeling and dealing here. Netflix hired, they just, I don't know, the talent they hired for this day when everybody's going to have the damn thing on mute and be with their families is unbelievable. Like, it's just, of all the games, first of all, I hope that it streams and the stream opens and works, because the
Unlike
Tyson
the
Jake
Did
Paul
Tyson
game-
Netflix
Paul
do it
fight.
last year?
No, this is the first time they've ever done this.
Okay.
But their previous live sport was back in October. And
Yeah.
maybe it was first weekend in November, but it was the Mike Tyson that nobody could watch, and it buffered terribly.
I don't think there'll be that. I think there were a lot more people trying to watch that fight
Yeah.
than will watch an NFL game.
I don't know. NFL is king.
They had 66 million.
I mean,
streams.
they're competing.
Is that what it was?
Yeah,
They're
over 60 million streams worldwide.
they are counter programming the salute to the ISIS Bowl on. Oh, I'm sorry, that's on December 14th.
14th.
They are counter programming. The
Nothing's on Christmas Day.
I thought there was.
There's got to be some NBA games.
How funny would it
no,
be?
there's
Yeah,
no bowl
NBA
game on
games.
Christmas Day.
How funny would it be if it's
Don't the
not,
Lakers
it's
always
not the
play on
game that
Christmas? I think
overruns
so.
them, but it's the game and the people that are streaming the Yule log on their Netflix, and that's what overruns them is that they
So-
get crippled by the Yule log.
So they hired the Eagles, Ian Eagle and his son Noah Eagle. Each of them is going to anchor one of the games. So Ian is like 55, something like that. We've heard him on CBS forever. Noah is 28.
Wow.
If you want to feel sad about yourself, Chase, his son Noah is going to get to do the game.
He's anchoring?
he's the play-by-play guy. So
Really?
for one, so Ian's doing one game, Noah's doing the other.
Is this a
Talking heads for the day.
Joe Buck situation? So you're just going to.
Joe and Jack, yeah. So you got Nate Bargatze of SNL and Amazon fame. RG3 is going to be a voice. They got Greg Olson, Bert Kreischer
Is he gonna have a shirt on?
I doubt it.
He can't.
You can't hire Bert Kreischer and say, Bert, stay in your suit.
He might start with a shirt on, but he won't finish.
So who else is playing the Chiefs? And
Well, I don't know, because
Who
the
else?
NFL's real weird about that stuff.
Texans, he's taking his shirt off.
I'm telling you,
I hope they're in a freezing cold booth somewhere.
I want to see.
And he
there
goes
needs to
full
be
on
a
sweater.
second camera showing the handler trying to control Bert Kreischer.
I'm telling you, he was walking around
The
like
machine.
the news week for the Super Bowl, and like they were really strict with him about it. Like he did not want to do it on the podcast he came on.
Maybe J.J. Watt, that's going to be the job he has. He's the enforcer that says you cannot take that off. Ian Rappaport.
He'd probably pull a hammy or something trying to stop him.
Steve Weish is probably going to be the sideline reporter. He's one of the guys they have. Scott Hansen, who's I don't know what the hell he's supposed to do because I guess he's going to give updates. I don't know.
My favorite's bottom middle.
Manti Te'o.
He's got to do both games. And look for his girlfriend the whole damn time.
Where did Manti Te'o play?
Notre Dame.
And did he do well with the ladies' chase? For those that don't know why this is so goddamn funny.
So you would think, being probably the most popular man on campus,
he was the
captain of the Notre Dame football team.
Maybe one of the most
linebacker.
popular in the
You'd
country
think
at
he
that
would just
time.
be slaying Poonjar, but that was not the case.
He was over in the St. Joseph River slaying the fish.
He got catfished famously. To the
Great,
point
great
where-
documentary on Netflix.
To the point
You
where
should
he was
check it
told
out.
that his girlfriend had
You-
offed
you
herself,
fe-
I
you
believe.
feel real bad for the guy, but I also still don't understand how that happens.
Jason and Devin McCourty. Mean Gene Steratore, who was he was the Big Ten basketball ref and an NFL ref at the same time. Yeah.
Is that the current NFL rep or is that like his son? The
I
Steratore
think
guy.
you are confusing Ed Hockley and Sean Hockley
Maybe.
with Gene Steratore.
Yes, Gene Steratore, he's the rules interpreter for
Okay.
everything.
Yes.
That's what I'm thinking
Yes,
of.
but he was.
But I'm also thinking of the Hockley guy.
And then Drew Brees, and then there's a bunch of ladies that I don't recognize.
Name them
Don't
off
blame
for me,
me.
Jer.
You can tell me where we should know these from, Chase. Jamie Erdahl,
Don't know.
I know her name. Melanie Collins,
Kay Adams.
Kay Adams,
ESPN, I think.
Stacey Dales,
Don't know.
Mina Kimes.
Oh, everyone knows Mina Kimes.
Where should we know her from?
She was on ESPN for a long time. I'm not sure where she's at now.
Laura Rutledge. I don't know if she's related to Racing Rutledge.
That's Rutledge Wood, though.
Yeah. You were the joke, so God damn it. Yeah. Anyway, there's other names and faces on here too. We may have gotten through all. Nate Burleson, who I think has a job on one of the CBS
Doesn't he do, like,
Sunday
the
morning or
CBS?
something. Yeah, he's like, I think ABC or no, Fox has Michael Strahan and CBS has Nate Burleson. They've got they've all got their
Is he on
their guys.
Wilson on the one with Cower and
Yeah, he's also a studio.
What's
guy.
the times for these games?
Was not prepared. I did not study for this part of the test, Chase. Let's see. NFL.
is it a 1 and 4? Is it like a 4 and 7?
I think it's like 2 and 7 or something. Let's see. 1 and 4:30. Chiefs Steelers 1 o'clock. Got to get your presents out of the way early, and then hopefully because it's a school night, Wednesday, December 25th, 4:30 p.m. at Houston. So that'll be perfect weather. Your chance for a nightmare scenario weather situation is the Steelers game.
Right there's the story that's going to break NFL on Netflix.
And Mariah Carey is going to do the Christmas. She's going to perform on the show. Allegedly, Beyonce would link to it too. She might be doing the halftime.
Why isn't she going? Something going on with her life?
Not at all. Not hers. Just Jay-Z.
In happier news, Chase, there was a muck duck in New York City. Have you followed this story? This feels like a story that Chase would have paid attention to. So the CEO of a company called United Healthcare got shot, murdered in front of the
Apparently murder is cool now?
In front of the Hilton Hotel in Midtown Manhattan.
Deny, dispute,
defend, deny. It was I saw it written on like the live, laugh, love. It was one of those hey, let me effort this.
We're all going to hell for laughing at this.
I, for one, am shocked and appalled that society has responded in such a way. At all of this.
The CEO of the company who made $1.4 trillion or whatever last year.
Deny, defend, depose. This is the as it was put. it looks like the live, laugh, love. The cursive writing that you would have bought it.
You think it was a setup, Jer?
So let's. I for those that have been living in a ditch, this guy got
whacked,
professionally shot, essentially from a 3D printed gun on the streets of New York City. Dude,
was it professionally if he had a racket multiple times?
It failed. It was listen, have you printed anything at home and expected it to be perfect?
No. I could not print a piece of paper and make a paper airplane fly perfectly, let alone a gun that shoots an actual bullet.
It's beyond my pay grade to understand how any of that worked. It probably jammed because he etched on the damn casings words, and that's why it failed. It's not rated for that. So the guy got away, got out of the city, and everybody's like, well, greatest crime ever committed. The city is like, super professional. We have no idea who this dude is. He's lost forever. We're screwed. And then the story progresses. And then there are some people like, well, we kind of caught him flirting with, we think it was somebody that was flirting with someone at a hostel. And this guy gave an ID. And it was a fake ID out of New Jersey. And like, well, that's a dead end. It's a fake ID.
In New Jersey.
In New Jersey. And then, which has got their own drone problems right now. I don't even want to touch that story this week. So the internet immediately sided with the mystery shooter and said this dude had it coming, whatever. And there was the least amount of empathy I've ever seen in my life over a murder, over a capital crime.
Yeah.
In broad daylight in Manhattan.
Well, the sun was just coming up. In tourist Manhattan. This is like it's like the home to suites in Manhattan. This is the Hilton. Like the historic Hilton that I think the Beatles wrote some music in. Like the very first cell phone call was made out of this building. Like it is a historic
Fifth
hotel.
Avenue, 6th Avenue.
Yeah, it's right. Like it's Midtown Hilton. That's just about it. Surprisingly, right just south of Central Park.
Yeah,
yeah, big deal. Where the chat's talking about Jeff Samardzija. I'm losing my voice again.
I love Jeff Samardzija. He was my favorite Notre Dame player of all time. He was a wide receiver. And
played baseball too,
NCAA football 07, I would throw the same pass to him every play, and he caught it every time. It was unstoppable.
I think he actually played. Did he get drafted by the Cubs?
I can't remember who he started out with. He made the right decision.
He wound up going pro in baseball and not.
He would have been. I wish he would have went to the NFL. He was so fucking good. Sorry.
Potato weight.
Sorry. Anyways, so he ended up making like $100 million though. He would have never made that in the NFL during his time.
No, but now he'd make that at Notre Dame.
Yeah, probably would.
All right, I've got my voice back. So, mystery shooter kills this dude. The internet immediately falls in love with him. And then
he was hot.
Well, they thought he would look very attractive. Chases. We know
it's the unibrow, man. I can't get past it. Was it a setup, Jared? Because all I know is in the screenshot, I see a space in between the eyebrows. But then when you see him in person, almost full unibrow. How do you make that make sense?
5 days later. His name's Luigi. He's Italian.
Italians grow hair rapidly. So the next thing you know, it's like, oh, they made an arrest in Pennsylvania, Altoona,
Pennsylvania,
which is between Philadelphia and Pittsburgh. And this is all alleged. They've arrested a guy, Luigi somebody, and he's from it's totally not what you expected because he's from this rich family outside of Baltimore. It's family-owned country clubs, golf courses. They owned a radio station. Apparently, they owned some nursing homes. That theoretically, there are a bajillion runaway stories now going on with this thing, and I don't know what to believe at this point because there are theories that say, well, the guy's family owned these nursing homes and they were trying to do a hostile takeover. There are the internet sleuthing that happened in the first day, digging into who the hell this guy was, and everybody falling in love with him was once again unbelievable. He looked like the third Efron brother.
How did he get caught, Jer?
He was eating breakfast at McDonald's. Mm-hmm. And a restaurant worker spotted him and called 911.
I think a customer said something to a restaurant worker, and the worker called 911.
And they're like, this guy looks like the dude we're looking for. And the police showed up, the guy that had been on the job for 6 months.
Did they
And the
drug
dude-
test this McDonald's worker, Jer?
I don't know. I don't know.
More importantly, was the ice cream machine working?
Probably not.
So this particular McDonald's, their Google rating went down to a 0. And people were commenting on the Google reviews that there are rats everywhere at the station at this McDonald's.
Just snitches, not rats.
Yeah.
I saw this TikTok video yesterday of this guy who ordered a McFlurry, but they didn't mix it or anything. And he was like, "Oh, is the mixer not working?" And she was like, "Yeah, sorry, it doesn't work." And he took his little spoon back there, plugged it into the mixer, turned it on. That baby worked fine. McDonald's is a scam.
Just didn't want to do it. There was a $60,000 reward out for this thing. I thought it was a $10,000 reward. You're reporting
10,000 from the
60.
city, and then 50,000 from another organization.
Did the insurance company not offer any money
I
for
thought
the,
it was a
for
60
the arrest
G
of their
seems kind of
hero?
low for your CEO getting gunned down.
That would impact their profit, Zach.
And he was about to speak to the shareholders. That's why he was in town.
Yeah, their business update, wasn't it? Their annual update.
Yeah.
It's I just
So apparently, to receive a reward, like the attorney general has to recommend that the informant or whatever you want to call the person who reports it is actually worthy of receiving the award.
that's cute. Give the guy up and get no money for it. So he has retained an attorney who has done a tremendous amount of media, who is seemingly a copy between My Cousin Vinny's Joe Pesci and Saul Goodman. The guy is total theatrics. He pretends like he has no idea about any of this stuff in New York City. His guy's only been arrested for having a questionable gun, is what he's pretending, and he doesn't want to have anything to do with extradition. And he hasn't seen any media reports out of New York at all.
I mean,
he has no idea what the hell they're talking about.
Does the glove fit, Jer?
So we are on. He says, "Look at all the." He holds out his hands and says, "Get a close up view of my hands here. This is the amount of evidence I've seen, and it's his empty hands." The guy.
I'm sold.
The guy.
I mean, I'm not one to say murder is okay, but I'm sold.
The guy is working hard at it. It's been surreal. So then you get media reports of people that are doing a live broadcast on cable outside of the county jail, and the county jail has windows that are rolled up, and there's a bunch of guys in the jail that are watching the live reports, and the media people are live on the air, and they ask questions, and then the jail inmates are hooting and hollering, flashing their lights on and off, yes or no. Can you see Luigi? How is he? You got cable. Is he in his own room? They're asking all of these decoded questions about the guy, finding out what the conditions are inside the jail just based on the responses of the people watching the live TV broadcast.
How would you rate a six-pack, Jer?
It's not a 6-pack. It's a 12-pack. So the dude, he's like trust fund kid,
but
right?
But those pictures were like a few months old. Like now he looks like this little scrawny dude.
Well, yeah. So he went missing. Apparently his back got, this is the other story that's
July
running around.
4th, 2023.
His back got hurt trying to windsurf or something in Hawaii. And then
insurance wouldn't pay for it.
And then the insurance wouldn't pay for it. He needs surgery. He's miserable and he snaps, and this is what happens. I don't know. There's other theories saying that his mother's sick or whatever. Who the hell knows?
He's supposed to be circulating.
This guy
pictures of
is
that
smart
fusion.
enough to. I don't know what it takes to build a homemade 3D printed gun.
Oh, I bet it's really easy.
Yeah, I don't think
Ryan
it's probably
Wade
hard.
for the CEO. He has 5 days and he only makes it 277 miles to Altoona, PA. If his family's that wealthy, get the hell out of Dodge.
So his family is gigantic Italian family. We haven't seen him in months. We have no idea.
Apparently,
they'd
he
seen him.
reportedly
They're
might
just-
have had back surgery and just disappeared after the surgery, potentially.
He was found. So there are like all of these number 286s or 276, whatever number it is, that kept appearing all over the place. Like his profile picture was him eating a McDonald's sandwich and then he gets caught at McDonald's. He had like a Pokemon in a picture, and it was like Pokemon number 286 or whatever, which matched up the exact distance away from New York City that he was. They're like, this is 4D chess. And I'm like, okay, maybe this guy is actually looking for he's trying to get arrested and he's going to go to a jury trial and go for jury nullification. Maybe that's where this is going, is that we're going to get the trial of the century, because we've learned on this show that you don't need 12 no's. You need one person to say, I decide what the facts and the law are. This dude's fine.
I need a good trial. I loved
say something. Nobody cares.
I loved watching the Johnny Depp Amber Heard trial. I was glued to that. I mean, a person shits on the bed. I mean, murder's not as cool, but I mean, I need a good trial to watch.
Hey, Chase, she's pregnant. Somebody put her in that again. Just shocking.
I
saw a post about it before he was caught on like Reddit and stuff, and it's amazing how little sympathy anybody had for this guy. And like, and I don't condone murder, but then you start hearing insurance horror stories about his insurance company, which obviously he's not making these calls, like denying childhood chemo patients anti-nausea medication and stuff like that.
They automatically rejected like 30% or whatever. They had people that were just, their job was to open and deny immediately.
Yeah. And you're like, you know what? I don't condone murder, but I understand people not having a lot of sympathy for a guy who heads up a company and was in New York about to speak to his shareholders about how great they're probably doing based on human suffering. It's kind of how they build their business, it seems. So it's a weird, not a great time for America, probably.
Well, and we've been so radicalized by the meme culture that I think a lot of real feelings come out online that maybe you wouldn't say out loud. And I just am like, this is
what happens when you let your kids play Call of Duty. Start making 3D printed guns.
No emotions at all. Completely desensitized.
This is what happens when you take Pornhub out of your state.
That'd be a warning to Mike Braun.
Gonna go fire another gun instead.
Not me.
I don't one this time.
I don't know how to download a VPN, so you don't have to worry about the 3D printed guns.
So, Chase, you're going to need to be able to watch the trial. It's time to eloquently get into cord cutting. Oh, dear Lord. So,
nice segue there.
Yes. Metronet. Anybody still have Metronet in town?
I do.
For their internet and their TV?
I just have the internet.
So I do too. About 5 years ago, I had signed up I was a DirecTV customer. And then I said, this is silly. I'm going to sign up for Metronet. And they did a fine job with home TV, but there weren't a hell of a lot of people using it anymore, I don't think. When I canceled and I called and I said, hey, I don't want this anymore. They're like, you're going to stream it? I'm like, yeah. And they're like, great. That's the thing to do. I'm like, okay, you're not even going to fight me on it? You don't care.
I think they were encouraged. There was one point that was their thing, is like, hey, we got the internet to support your streaming habit.
Yeah, because they would upsell their internet package for that.
Yeah.
So I got rid of my cable boxes, essentially. And they had a decent product, but they have said we are getting rid of it now. So if you're a Newcastle, Indiana Metronet customer, Metronet has expanded. They just got purchased by T-Mobile, or they're trying to get purchased by T-Mobile. And they are all over the country. There's a link that we had they were eliminating the service everywhere. So Rochester, Minnesota is also getting rid of it. So in March, you can't get a streaming TV deal from them. So you have to go to one of the Hulu, YouTube TV, Sling, somebody like that. Theoretically, or to the dark web for your jailbird unlocked. I'm going to sound like Bill Belichick trying to talk about social media today. Your MySpace. Literally said that today in his press conference. I heard on my face that this was going on. So it's like, okay, Metronet customers, you need to go sign up for YouTube TV. Are we all YouTube TV customers now at this point?
I am.
Yep, same here.
Yeah.
Yep. So we're all in YouTube.
That's
TV
one of
family.
my 17 streaming things.
I'm right there with you.
So it went $10 up again today.
Just got the email.
So it's going to go to $82 a month. And I every time I go, this is crap. This is too much.
And then you pay it anyways.
And then I say, well, it could be worse.
I already have the billing set up.
In 2017, YouTube TV was $35 a month.
I saw it had raised like $150 like 15% over
Yeah.
the last 5 years or something like that.
I got the breakdown here. So 2017, $35 a month. 2018, you were still a child at this point, Jason. This didn't affect you. Didn't know this life. $40 a month. 2019, $50. 2020, thanks COVID, $65 a month. 2023, we went to $73 a month, and now we're clutching our pearls at $83 a month. So we've gone from 35 to 83 over the literally amount of time that the show has existed. We started in 2017. You could get YouTube TV for $35 a month.
I saw that and I was like, man, that's a great deal.
So I think when we first cut the cord, we went like with the Hulu Live, and then YouTube TV had some special. So we went with them. And since we switched over to YouTube TV, we have YouTube TV. We have Hulu, not the live version.
We get that on Black Friday for $2 a month.
We pay for Peacock.
Yep.
We have Amazon Prime, Apple TV, Showtime Plus, Max, Disney Plus bundle.
Yeah.
Like, I may as well be paying for like 2004 Dish Network.
The only good thing about the streaming services is at least you can watch what you want to watch. You don't have to see the thousands of commercials and you're watching
But
Storage Wars for the 30th time in a row.
so
you know?
it is better content that you're not just sitting there watching History Channel and the aliens, right?
Yeah.
But a lot of these, I'm going to a little bit cheaper version of some of them because I want to have access to all of these different channels. So I've got the ad-supported version of something. So if I'm watching something on Amazon Prime, all of a sudden it's like I'm watching a movie and it's like, oh, here's your 3-minute counter on some commercials. We've got the Peacock Premium because we eventually just got tired of it. But you have to pick a lane on some of these. I get HBO.
The first time a commercial pops up, it pisses me off so bad, I'm paying for the ad free.
I hate the cock. I'm pretty sure I am subscribed to the cock. That's what they call it, Jerry. That's what the kids call it.
It is what the kids call it, yeah. It's very colorful.
And the only reason I'm subscribed to it is to watch
cock.
that one Notre Dame game or that one Bears game that's on there, and then I forget.
It has nothing to do with IndyCar.
It was the home of motorsports.
I forget to unsubscribe.
Here's the problem, Forrest, is that they have sports car racing, which we're now very in tune with. By the way, McLaren no longer with James Hinchcliffe. Now he's a Lamborghini driver. Poor guy. He's going to be in a Hurricane. So you got to have you got to watch IMSA on Peacock, and then you got to go to Fox. Fox for NASCAR, you basically have to have YouTube TV, or else you got to buy some other Fox streaming app that doesn't even exist yet. The one saving grace to all of these things is you don't have a contract for any of them.
Yeah.
When you had
Change it month to month.
had DirecTV, whatever. I think that if you're sitting here pissed off, delete them all. Cancel. Keep your Patreon, folks, but cancel all of this other crap.
Go get your over-the-air antenna.
No, just get rid of them all. Let them sit, and then when you feel like you need to watch something, go sign up for it.
Yeah,
just cancel all carte blanche, and just say, hey, we're wiping it clean. And then if and when I need it, it's because you end up going and damn it, I got to sign up for Peacock again. Fine, kill them all, or cancel the credit card you use and just use it to wipe out all of the services you have. Change your credit card number, let them all die off, and start fresh.
Yeah. So I have my basics. I have my YouTube TV, and then keep Netflix rolled. And then all the others.
We successfully didn't have Netflix for like 6 months.
Month to month,
really?
Basically.
Yeah. We killed Netflix for like 6 months, finally gave in like 4 months ago, and we have it again. But this strategy kind of worked for us for a while because we didn't have Netflix for like all summer. We got rid of it. Because there's certain shows that come out, and you're like, all right, I need Hulu for Only Murders in the Building. Well, that comes out and it's out for 2 months. Yeah. You get to watch them all, and then you're done. You don't need it anymore.
Then you forget about it the other 10 months of the year, and you still pay for it.
So you say the hell with it. Or if you just wait long enough, it'll go to another service. You can also catch something over there.
I love Amazon Prime too.
Yeah.
Well, Amazon Prime is included, right?
Yes.
You're going to buy that no matter what. I signed up for that crap in 2009. And this is where it gets me. Literally every Thanksgiving weekend, I get charged my $140. Well, I do so much other stupid Black Friday shopping that I don't even notice that I bought Amazon Prime. I think it's free, right? It's just.
Oh damn! I still have it. They forgot about me.
Yeah, it's just free this year. I still think the advantage to these services, and Zach, you get to use this a little bit too, is that it works in your camper or wherever. So it travels with you. If you're in a hotel, you can grab a Roku, you can throw it in a bag, and you can plug your Roku in, and you can make it work in a hotel room or an Airbnb, and you bring your TV with you, and you've got your junk. And you don't pay. We still were in a day on DirecTV or Comcast where it was $13 for every extra room you wanted to add, where you had to pay for all of the extra boxes.
And it had to be where your cable outlet was.
And now you could, if you want to roll a TV out onto the patio or onto your back porch or whatever to watch a football game, by all means do it.
Yeah, a little bit.
So we've got that going for us.
The unlimited DVR is pretty handy. But yeah, I am irritated. It's just like it's same thing with a lot of things. When it came out, it's like, oh, this is just like the channels that most people want. It wasn't like all the bloat that was cable, and now it's just turning into the bloat. And it's like, man, can we just like give me an a la carte option where I can literally check off the boxes for the channels that I want?
I want like 3 channels,
and I don't want to, because like I don't honestly, I don't need ESPN. I never watch ESPN.
ESPN is $30 of that number.
It's I looked it up today, and the average carrier fee for ESPN is $9.42. So if you have ESPN on your cable provider, $10 of your bill is just ESPN,
not ESPN2,
just ESPN. So yeah, I would love to be able to just uncheck the bunch of channels I don't want to watch, because I think we all knew, like when we had like DirecTV, I think at the end before we cut the cord and stuff, you have like 250 channels, and it's like, hey, we all watch like the same 4.
I need 9 of them.
Yeah. And then your spouse watches a couple others. Like I know my wife does the thing where she subscribes to a certain streaming service to watch a show, and then when the season's done, she cancels it. Or she'll even like turn on for like a month.
She's the one with the discipline to do that, though,
Yeah.
because there's a lot of households that just forget about it.
Yeah,
Like, I was about to cancel Peacock, but then they did a Black Friday deal, and then so I told my wife, I was like, "Hey, sign up for this," because it was under my account. So I canceled mine, and then she signed hers up because it was like $20 for the year. Because then I started watching a show. I was like, "Why did I pick up a show on Peacock when we were about to cancel it?" But
yeah, I see a show and I'm like, $10 for the month, not a problem.
I mean,
and a year and a half later,
Apple TV.
I do not.
no.
Apple TV has some great shows on it. Well,
Is that the one? I was gonna say, is that the one with Ted Lasso?
We did have Apple TV, but it's once again another one of those where you're able to get rid of it.
I had it right when it came out, and I watched every season of Ted Lasso except for the very last one.
So did they give you Apple TV if you bought an iPhone or whatever? There's always a little hook of if you do this, you get something for free.
I think we actually went out and bought one of the Apple TV boxes.
Yep.
And we just watch whatever. But Ted Lasso and then Bad Monkey with Vince Vaughn came out last year, was great. There's a show out with Jason Segel right now that
is it Shrinking?
Yes.
Oh, so I did watch. I never got totally into it.
They're great shows.
Yeah. It's a Harrison Ford as well.
Yeah.
I wanted to like it, and I maybe give it 3 or 4 episodes. The one show that I'm actually enjoying right now that's like current TV is St. Dennis on Peacock or on NBC.
Yeah.
It's done very much in the style of The Office or Parks and Recreation. It's in an emergency room. Very solid. I think we talked about it on here with your boy from In Living Color, David Alan Greer.
oh yeah,
He plays an ER doc, and it's not the greatest show I've ever seen, but I'll watch it each week. The sleeper pick out there is the Nebula is like $25 a year or $30 a year, and it has an incredible amount of like documentaries and reality games, all this stuff. A lot of that stuff's also on YouTube with commercials. There's a little show called Jet Lag that I've really enjoyed. That's 3 nerds running across the globe, chasing each other, playing games. That one is like, it's unbelievable. Hundreds of millions of people watch the damn show across the world on YouTube. Yeah, called Jet Lag. It's a kid who's Sam Denby or whatever, who started Wendover Productions, and then 2 of his producers. One of the guys is his dad was a writer for National Lampoon back in the day. Uh-huh. So he's sharp, quick-witted little nerd. And then the other guy is Adam Chase, who's like the most ultra-competitive guy you've ever seen. And it's a lot of kind of like Double Dare back in the day. You won't remember this because you're
I recognize the name.
Physical challenges that you used to have
may
to
get
do.
slimed.
Yeah, well, a lot of like you have to go eat a donut in a place, or they did a donut mile where they had to run run a mile eating a donut constantly. Jeff Everett did something
Yeah.
similar on the on Bob and Tom back in the day.
Gosh, that sounds horrible.
There's just the writer's son wound up having to get drunk like 3 years in a row on the show, where he'd have to go have 4 shots or whatever in an hour or something. And just it's a cool show. So that's a freebie. So if you cancel all this crap, go get yourself a free YouTube subscription. Go watch that one.
How many Jack's donuts do you think you could eat in a mile, Jer?
Oh my God.
Oh, which donuts though?
The cake ones.
Oh man, cake
Which-
ones.
which
Cake
cake
one's better
one?
than a roll.
Yeah, the roll would be really bad.
Well, my go-to is the peanut butter and chocolate and the caramel nuts. How many of those?
Those aren't cake though. Those are
No, those are rolls.
those are the
Cinnamon-
rolls.
Those are cinnamon rolls.
Okay, yeah, that's the ones I'm thinking
If
of.
we're walking a mile, I think I could get 4 of those down without tremendous effort.
I mean, I'm telling you, I've had 2 Jack's donuts in like a day, and that's
I mean, it would not be comfortable.
they stay with you. Yeah,
It would not be comfortable, but I think I could do.
Back in the day,
I think I could do 4.
when I was in better shape, when I would go on my cheat day, I'd eat. This was when I was like 15 or 16, whatever.
when you were
cheat day at
15.
when you
Well,
were
I was on the P90X.
Nice.
I used to be an athlete.
Chase was played college baseball.
So,
folks.
anyways,
Just
I
like
would
you
eat
just
a
believe.
whole pizza and a dozen of Jack's donuts in one night.
Oh my God.
God, Chase.
It was so good.
It's amazing you're still alive, man. Because I have like once in a while I'll take donuts to work. Like I take too many. You take a dozen and there's 6 people show up to work.
Yeah.
Like I'll have a second one like mid morning, and you're like, oh man, I don't know if I should have done that. Like
I think I could eat 2 max now.
So instead of a beer mile where you run a mile on a track and every lap you drink a beer, do a donut mile where every lap you have to eat a donut.
They called it a pastry mile, and this dude was eating like his like New York City Brooklyn donut that was enormous.
I was gonna say,
He almost died.
but like a Krispy Kreme, not a problem. Like a yeast donut,
Yeah.
that wouldn't be that bad. Those are light and fluffy. But like a real donut, like one of those,
The Krispy Kreme would be a piece of cake. I still enjoy spreading the gospel of Jack's Donuts when I do the day job. Brought some in Columbus, Ohio, dropped them off to somebody today. They'd never seen them before. And they're like, oh, another vendor brought us some donuts in today. I'm like, these are different. You'll
do like donut hole trees for the holidays.
Yeah.
And I told Lee, I was like, I need to get a hold of one of those. He's like, you know who to message. I need to figure it out because you have to give him a little heads up before you get one. But yeah, I haven't had a donut from them. I need to go by the drive-thru.
All right, final thoughts, Zach. I need to hear what you're going to cancel, and as your New Year's resolution before we get into
one thing I want to ask Chase while he's in here, because we're talking about money, and somebody who doesn't need to worry about money anymore is Juan Soto.
Oh, geez.
I don't. Okay, so here's the thing. Here's the thing with me. I don't watch baseball.
Mm-hmm.
I don't care about baseball. I know a couple people that are diehard baseball fans, but for the most part, I would argue that baseball is like dropped down probably as low as it has been in like the national echelon. So
I don't know. The last couple years hasn't been bad.
I know, but like in terms of popularity of the
contracts as big as
how
they are.
does this guy who's 26 years old sign a contract for 15 years for $765 million?
Fucking traitor. Yeah, I'm a Yankees fan, by the way.
So am I.
Where's the
so
money
baseball players have always got the contracts. I mean, I guess probably all time it's soccer players. Soccer players make the most, and then baseball.
But they're saying this contract's one of the richest contracts in history.
I mean, I can remember 15 years ago, a couple $100 million for the biggest contract. I can't even imagine 750.
His contract, this single contract, is more than LeBron James and Tom Brady made combined.
Yeah,
professionally.
It said that Alex Rodriguez got $252 million for 10 years.
The A-Rod contract was unbelievable.
That's the one.
Yes.
That's the for everyone else.
This is more than 3 times the money, but for only 50%.
Yeah, but Obama ruined the economy, so it's really only like half.
Yeah, yes.
It's New York.
There's no deferred money. It's no deferred. It's just a straight contract. Shohei Ohtani's contract has got like a bunch of deferred.
Yeah, it's deferred like 20 years.
He's going to be making like 60.
I don't know how they're allowed to do stuff like that.
It's going to be like $75 million.
Which it just hits their tax money, right?
So
because there's no salary cap, but they have that luxury tax.
Yes. So these teams have this is going to go down a little rabbit hole, but
it's
they're all
the TV
taking private. They're
contracting
taking
it.
private equity in now,
Oh, yeah.
too. So the kind of like Live Golf, the Saudi Arabians, and some of the money bundler people are going in and they'll buy 5%, 10%, 15% of a team, and that brings fresh cash into the organization where they can go do this. And then as long as the value of the team keeps going up, those people can sell out and have made a profit in 5 years. And the pyramid scheme works until it stops spinning.
I just can't imagine.
But to answer your question, I don't see how any player, especially on a basketball's a little different because one player can affect the game more. But I mean, this guy just lost the World Series. I mean, he was a great hitter. He made some really bad errors in the field. I don't know how. I mean, he's young, $750 million. I don't know how any players.
I'm also. It's insane to me to bet on any pro athlete being good for 15 years.
Yeah,
that's a long contract.
That's
26. You're
41
betting
years old
on
and that contract's over.
You're betting on 6 to 7 years.
How many times is he getting traded? And who could take that trade?
Because
only the Yankees and the Dodgers.
Yeah, because MLB is guaranteed money. That contract is contract. He is owed that money no matter what happens.
Bobby Bonilla Day.
Yeah, that's still going, but yeah. Otherwise, I don't know if I have any.
Does the contract end if he gets Luigi?
I don't know. Oh, I bet there's a way around that. Yeah, I saw that number.
There's a rabbit hole right
I
there.
saw that number. I do think I remember somebody saying, I think we discussed on the show in time that
he got the jab. That's what happened.
One of the things that baseball has, though, is that those teams all individually negotiate TV contracts. So they have revenue coming in a way that other sports don't, or like everywhere else. But still, just for one person to get a contract for $750 million.
The Yankees have their own network.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, I can remember back, I don't know, it was probably 10 years ago. The Yankees had more players on their current roster that had made or were making $100 million than had made in the NFL at that time.
And yet somehow the Tampa Bay Rays, who play in a minor league baseball stadium now, outplay them.
Thank God, because
and it's a beautiful minor league baseball stadium.
It's way better than their regular stadium, the Circus.
God, that place is a shithole.
I've been there. I watched them play.
I watched
So did
Aaron
I.
Judge hit one off the roof, and it didn't count as a home run because it hit the roof, the catwalk.
Baseball's amazing because you get random ass things in stadiums. They used to have a hill in the outfield in Houston at the Houston Astros Tropicana Field or
Didn't
whatever.
Oakland have a hill out in the outfield too at one time?
They may have. They had a football field in the middle of the baseball stadium. All right. Anyway, anything else from you, Zach?
I don't think so.
You getting up at 7 a.m. for the Ganassi open house this weekend?
No, I've got other stuff going on that day, and I won't be able to make it. I've got a Christmas with Santa with the YMCA at Applebee's.
Santa's screwing you.
There might be some tickets for that. Yeah, I know. I saw them post pictures on some steering wheels, like a whole. I wonder how much to charge it for an entire front wing, like whole front, the nose. Whole nose and wing and everything.
We are planning on going as a family. I don't know if I'm going to do something stupid and buy. There are full
just
fire
selling
suits.
off random.
There are
car parts.
They are selling
wheels,
bits and
fire
pieces.
suits,
The fire suits.
Yeah.
They showed like Sage Karam's rookie year fire suit from when he drove the number 8 car. Back in the day. There were some. I think there was some Target stuff. I mean,
there's a whole. I think the front wing was off the Target.
The Target stuff will.
As a Ganassi fan,
money.
there are some things that make you that make me think I probably shouldn't go Saturday because I could make some stupid decisions. I could have gone on a vacation, or I bought the damn wing of a race car. Chase Peyton, final thoughts.
Belichick's what, 72?
73.
3.
He's replacing the coach that he's replacing was a year younger than him. He's the only coach that's over 70 in the NCAA, and he's right now 3 years older than the oldest guy that ever won an national championship.
What are the chances that he goes down as the greatest NFL coach of all time and the greatest college head coach of all time?
He'll never be the greatest college coach of all time because he doesn't have enough years. But he could do like Larry Brown did and win a title.
The thing about Belichick is he's going to die in that office. I mean, this is his life, Jerry. He just lives football.
I can't believe Purdue didn't make him the same damn deal and say, hey, you get to be in the Big Ten. The Big Ten versus the ACC.
Well,
Oh,
His
that's money.
his dad
His
coached
dad
at North
coached.
Carolina.
Thank
Yeah.
God he didn't go to Navy. His dad coached there too.
Yeah, that's true. I guess. I mean, I understand that part of it. I want to see if Jeff Saturday makes the staff because he's got head coaching experience.
That's all I got you.
All right. Thanks for being here.
Thanks
Yeah,
for
the
having me.
Belichick thing is fascinating to me. It really is.
Yeah.
It's either going to go incredibly well and he's going to have a powerhouse team at North Carolina, or this experiment's going to fail in 2 years and he's going to be back doing TV. One of those two is going to happen. But it's either going to be he's in the playoffs next year or they're looking for a way out. I think on paper, it makes so much sense for kids that want to go be in a pro system. You don't care where you're recruited to. You say, the hell with it. We're going to go to North Carolina. That's a better program, better place to be than Colorado. With Dion.
I wonder how much NIL money starts flowing that way now.
You know who's a really rich alumni of North Carolina who's got money he's pissed off about right now? Michael Jordan.
Yep.
He's suing NASCAR. He may as well just, drop $500 million in North Carolina football in the next 5 years and get the national champion. Yeah. And this is what I'm going to do with my Saturdays, and I'm going to spend my Sundays at the NASCAR race. Pretty good work if you can get it.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, like if I was not in Indiana, North Carolina or Tennessee, similar climates, that's a great place to live.
Yep.
It's a great place to live. Even though my wife's never taken me to North Carolina. That's where I'd be. Bones has got to be over the moon. He's a big North Carolina fan. I'm sure he's thrilled. Mr. Plank, you're getting on the Greyhound bus and heading to Landover, Maryland.
Yep. So we've talked a lot of college football tonight, but Saturday, 3:00, Army, Navy, go Army. But really, the cool thing, tune in around 12:00, CBS Sport. They do the march on with the entire Corps of Cadets and Brigade of Midshipmen. I think the Corps of Cadets may walk on first this year.
For those that don't know, the reason you care so much is
my daughter is a cadet at West Point. So 4 regiments, 9 companies in each regiment. So when 2nd Regiment comes out, the 4th Company D2, she'll be one of those 100 or so cadets. She'll be the one in the gray, along with the other 4,000. No, it's such a cool atmosphere, the pomp and circumstance surrounding the game, all the pregame stuff, military brass all over the place, just a lot of good-hearted fun. Everyone's there to have a good time. They're going to go out and battle it out for 3 hours. At the end of the game, they all put on the same uniform.
Will there be a forward pass?
Navy's been throwing the ball this year. Army, chances are slim.
I'm in. I'm with you. Go Army. Beat Navy and all that. Real quickly from me, IndyCar news. Devlin DeFrancisco, who interviewed me while I was sitting in this studio back in March, he is no longer going to be a podcaster. He got himself a job at Rahal Letterman Lanigan Racing. He's going to be teamed up with Graham Rahal and Louis Foster, who's one of his greatest fans, is in the Wall Racing League with us. Encourage people to join that too. If you enjoy some of the racing talk, there's a great Wall Racing fan community. And then Connor Daly, Indianapolis's golden child, he passed on his chance to have the Indy 500 again with Brian Reinbold Racing, and it's either going to be a full season with Unkos Ollinger or homelessness. I think one of those two is going to happen.
He's going all in.
The Indy Star has a story that he has his sponsor Polkadot again, and they are cryptocurrency. They have a voting system, and they're voting, like the community is voting on whether or not Connor gets funded to do it. And I think you already have to own the crypto already. But if you own Polkadot, you get to decide Connor's fate. I think they looked for like $8 million and got told no. And now I think they've stripped it down to like $3 million, and we'll see. But it's a democratic system of the fairy tale Polkadot money. Crypto's been doing really well lately.
He put his future in the hands of crypto bros.
Yes.
I saw he dug his Subaru out of storage, so I'm guessing like all of his company cars have dried up pending this ride being announced.
Yes. He's probably between Tahoes right now.
Yeah.
All right. With that, We say thank you guys so very much for being a part of the show. Check out the sponsors. Enjoy some football this weekend. Forrest is going to play footsie with me under the table.
I saw that.
I felt it. Wow. And I'm driving him home, folks. We'll see you next Thursday.